Imagine the vast, endless expanse of the North Atlantic Ocean. The water is dark, reflecting the cold light of the stars. The waves rise and fall in a slow, rhythmic breathing. Rise and fall. It is the year 1898, 14 years before the world would weep. In a quiet room, filled with the scent of old paper and ink, a writer named Morgan Robertson sits at his heavy wooden desk. The night is silent around him. He dips his pen into the inkwell. He is not writing history, or so he thinks. He is writing a story. He imagines a ship. Not just any ship, but the largest vessel ever built by human hands. He closes his eyes and sees its iron hull cutting through the icy waters. He names this ship the Titan. The unsinkable, he writes on the page. In his mind, he sees the passengers, the rich, the poor, sleeping in their cabins. He feels the chill in the air, the drop in temperature that warns of ice. In his story, on a cold April night, the Titan meets a silent giant in the dark. An iceberg. Robertson writes about the lack of lifeboats. He writes about the tragedy in the freezing water. He finishes his book, Futility, and closes the cover. The book gathers dust. 14 years pass. The calendar turns to April 1912. A real ship, the Titanic, sets sail. Same size, same speed, same lack of lifeboats. And on a cold April night, just like in the story written long ago, the ice awaits. The writer saw the ghost of the ship before it was even built. But now, the ocean is calm again. The ice has melted, and the story rests in the deep, silent blue. Let us leave the cold ocean and travel to the warm, turquoise waters of the Caribbean. Feel the sun on your skin. The water is crystal clear, revealing the white sand beneath. It is the 1930s. A man named Edgar Cayce lies down on a soft couch. He closes his eyes. His breathing slows down, in and out. He is known as the sleeping prophet. When he sleeps, his mind travels across time and space. In his deep trance, he sees a land that no longer exists. He sees great temples of crystal, gardens of emerald green, and a civilization lost to the waves. Atlantis. He speaks in his sleep, his voice low and steady. Parts of the temples may yet be discovered, he whispers. Expect it, in 68 and 69, near Bimini. Decades drift by like clouds in the sky. Edgar Cayce passes away. The year 1968 arrives. Pilots flying over the translucent waters of the Bahamas look down. Divers swim into the silence of the deep. And there, resting on the ocean floor, they see them. Massive, rectangular stones, perfectly aligned. A road under the sea. The Bimini Road, just as the sleeping man had dreamt. Imagine floating weightless above those ancient stones now. The fish swim silently between them. The secrets of the past are safe here, wrapped in the warm, comforting blanket of the sea. The moon has always watched over us, a pale, glowing guardian in the night sky. In 1865, the world was illuminated by gas lamps and candles. Horse-drawn carriages clattered on cobblestone streets. In France, the visionary writer Jules Verne sat by his window, looking up at that same moon. He didn't see a god or a cheese. He saw a destination. He began to write from the earth to the moon. He used mathematics, not magic. He calculated the velocity. He calculated the trajectory. He wrote that the vessel would be made of aluminum, a metal rare at the time, but common today. He wrote that 3 men would undertake this journey, and he chose a launch site. He looked at the map of America. He pointed his finger at a peninsula called Florida. Here, he thought, from here, we leave the Earth. Pause. Slow down. 104 years later, Apollo 11. The rocket stands tall in Florida, just as Verne wrote. 3 men climb inside. The craft is made of aluminum alloys, and when they returned, they splashed down in the Pacific Ocean, exactly where Verne's fictional travelers had landed a century before. Sometimes, a dream is so powerful, it pulls reality towards it. The moon shines through your window tonight. The same moon Verne saw. The same moon Armstrong walked on. Silent, bright, and peaceful. Deep in the woods of Yorkshire, England, there is a cave. It is an ancient place where water drips from the limestone walls. Drip, drip, drip. Here lived Ursula Southill, known to the villagers as Mother Shipton. 500 years ago, she sat by her small fire. She was feared by some, respected by others. She peered into the mist of time, seeing a world she would never touch. She spoke in rhymes, her voice echoing off the stone walls. Carriages without horses shall go, and accidents fill the world with woe. She saw the iron beasts of the future, our cars, speeding along grey roads. She looked deeper into the smoke and said, "Around the world thoughts shall fly, in the twinkling of an eye." She saw the invisible web that connects us today, the internet, the radio, the signals in the air. She saw ships made of iron floating on water. She saw men underwater, moving like sleeping fish in submarines. She described our noisy, busy modern world from her quiet, damp cave. But tonight, we return to her forest. The rain falls gently on the leaves outside. The fire has burned down to glowing embers. The future has already happened. Now, there is only the stillness of the past. Imagine the dry, cool air of the Arizona desert. Red rocks stand like silent giants against the dark sky. Above, the Milky Way stretches like a river of diamonds. The elders of the Hopi tribe are gathered around a small fire. The sparks fly up, joining the stars. They speak of the 9 worlds. They speak of the cycles of time. They tell the story of the blue star Kachina. When the blue star makes its appearance in the heavens, they say, the 5th world will emerge. They speak of a dwelling place in the sky, crashing to earth. They speak of spider webs drawn across the land, our power lines and roads. For centuries, these stories were whispered from grandfather to grandson. Some say the blue star is a comet yet to come. Some say it was a supernova long ago. But the message is not one of fear. It is a message of attention, to watch the sky, to respect the earth. The fire is dying down now. The desert is cooling. The stars are steadfast and unmoving. Whether the blue star is near or far, the night is here. The ancient wisdom wraps around you like a warm blanket. The earth turns slowly, and all is well.